Lay down, sit down, put your hands on the stem. Most of the trees do like that. Yeah. And tell who you are, and what your longing is, or what's your question about life, your life. They like that. They really want to engage.
This month I interview Marjanne Huising, a Dutch herbalist who's visiting Australia at the moment. She's also a tree woman, a tree whisperer, and she has 4 textbooks published in Dutch on herbal medicine, the medicine of the trees, flower essences, and also a set of oracle cards. Marjanne really awakened to me this question of, what would it be like to talk to the trees, to hear their whisperings in our hearts? And is this something that we actually can do? What if we could discover their medicinal properties and their soul properties just by speaking with them? In this episode, Marjanne urges us to just sit down with the trees and trust what we receive. She reminds me that listening to the plants and the trees is something that lives inside all of us. It only needs reawakening. I feel really honoured to be interviewing such an elder of the European herbal tradition, a tradition that we don't get much exposure to here in Australia due to the language barrier. She has 30 years herbal practice and plant communication. And in this episode, we talk about Lady's Mantle, how Lady's Mantle can heal our wombs and our relationships with our wombs. Angelica, how Angelica helps us to digest the world around us. And I ask her to talk to some of the Camphor Laurels that grow on my property and have a chat with them to see what it is they're trying to tell me by growing so voraciously everywhere. Hello, and welcome to Sacred Herbalism, the full moon segment of the Elder Tree podcast, where we explore how plants can support us to enter into a sacred relationship with life and the living world. I'm Stephanie Hazel, and I've recorded this episode beneath the gaze of epic Wollumbin, where I live in Bunjalung country, and I pay my respects to the First Nations people of this land, as well as to the spirits and plants of this ancient earth. If you love what we do, you can support the Elder Tree mission of putting medicine in the hands of the people by joining our Patreon, where you can access special teachings from our presenters and our interviewees. So, let's walk into the moonlit forest together. Are you ready? Good morning, Marjanne.
Good morning.
It's lovely to have you here, and this is one of the few interviews I've actually done face to face, sitting nice and closely around my microphone together. So it's really nice to be able to look at you while we're talking. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I would love to know about your journey becoming a herbalist and what it's like being a herbalist in the Netherlands, in Holland.
Yeah, it was around my 30th birthday, I think. How did I become a herbalist? Well, I had a garden center at that moment, and I had one day off, and there was a herbal workshop, an introduction of something. I thought, well, let's go. And when I went there, it was a course of 3 years to become a herbalist. And that was magical in a way, because something woke up inside me. And when she asked, go to the garden, which herb is talking to you, I was really amazed by what the plants, the herbs did say to me. And I remembered deeply that I know more about it, more about the herbs, the plants, whatever. So
it was like a reawakening of a latent skill that you'd kind of forgotten.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you'd been working in the garden, you had a garden centre, so you were around plants and gardens a lot. And had you not had that kind of communication with plants up to that point?
Well, I did, but it wasn't conscious. It was a small garden center, so I walked with people around, and I knew, oh, this plant needs to be in her garden, or this is the combination of plants who needs to go with this man, or but I didn't had any thoughts about it. It was just what I did, very natural in a way. Yeah.
And so then when this herbal teacher kind of verbalized that invitation to hear what the plants were saying to you, something happened.
Yeah, there was really a spark, a flame in me, what ignited a whole world, and really wanted to learn about the herbs, what they do for people, also why it's working, why it's not working. Yeah, really into getting all the knowledge and all the stories and all the books around herbs and their properties. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you did that 3-year course.
Mm-hmm.
And in Holland, are there specific kind of accredited schools, or it's very kind of wild practice still?
At that moment there was a community, I don't know how you call it in English, where when you have your diploma, you can write in, and at that time it was recognized by the health organizations, so people can get money back for the consults in my practice.
Yeah, so health fund rebates, we would call it here.
Ah.
There was an association that you could write to that would approve your qualification, then you'd get health fund rebates.
Exactly.
We used to have those as well.
Yeah, but it's not anymore.
Yeah,
No.
so that changed in Holland.
Yeah.
It feels really backwards to me,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
It is, yeah. It's becoming bigger in the Netherlands, and there are more herbalists, and yeah, it looks like the government or the big organizations have influence on that and see it as a threat in a way, or yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after those 3 years, you started practicing. How did you use your herbal medicine?
Yeah, I started practicing in a little room in my house. Yeah, I made a lot of tinctures to help people. So I like to work with tinctures. I make them myself, in nature, in connection with the plants and the trees and the shrubs and everything. What is needed.
In your clinical practice, you only use medicines that you have wild harvested and made yourself.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you telling me recently that there aren't many manufacturers, like good quality manufacturers of herbal medicine in Holland. So in a way that's forced you to go into this more subtle practice of working with the plants in the wild. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's something around putting herbs into machines to extract them and then put it in a bottle. And I'm really about the subtle energies and asking the plant of he or she wants to give their properties to the tincture, to the alcohol, and so there are more layers in my tinctures than when it's from a fabric or that's very important for me, and that the subtle energies are not beaten out of it because they have to extract everything out of the plant. Yeah.
Standardized medicines, looking for a particular chemical.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe one day there'll be scientific equipment to measure subtle energies, but currently there's not. I mean, personally, I don't make a lot of my own tinctures, but I as much as possible, I work with the tinctures coming from Marlene Herbs in Tasmania through PPC, and the fresh plant tinctures I really notice the difference in the subtle energies. That when the plant is tinctured fresh, rather than, you know, being harvested somewhere else in the world and flown to Australia and then stored and then tinctured, I especially notice in the kind of psycho-spiritual realm, so mental health, some of these deeper ways that plants can heal on a soul level, can unlock like old patterns and trauma, and I find that seems to happen a lot more with fresh plant tinctures. So I think about 5 years ago I might not have really understood what you meant, but now I'm starting to see that and be like, oh, I didn't even realize plants could so reliably do that kind of deep work until I worked with more subtle medicines.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
Do you work mainly with single tinctures, with single simples, we call them in English?
Yeah. Simple singles. Yeah. Well, I learned that it's not common in the Netherlands to make a complex a formula. Yeah. And what I like about it, that you really see and the client can feel what it does. There are no mixed messages in the body or in the mind or in the soul. It's really about that herb who does this and all around it. And then you can see what it does or doesn't, and you can add another herb, and also taking it on its own, sometimes together. So you really can follow the healing of that person, and they can feel it. Just it's so pure to feel what a herb does in your body and with your mental health. And yeah, I really like that. And I think it's also based on me, because I'm often get confused when I use multiple herbs in one tincture. So it's really suits me also personally. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you've been practicing for a long time in a way that I'm just starting to move towards. So that's exciting to hear from, I guess, you know, an elder in that style of practice. And I've really noticed that now that I'm working more with single herbs, I also I have a clearer sense of what those herbs do because I'm giving them on their own and watching what happens. And if I used to do 5 herbs in a formula, then I'd know what that formula did, but I didn't really repeat formulas. They were always individual formulas.
Yeah.
And so then it wouldn't actually teach me very much about those individual herbs.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that because it's about the person who is asking you for help. Yeah, when there's a client, it's a person of its own, and if there's a sleeping problem, you can ask them out and really connect a herb with that special sleeping problem or sleeping disorder or whatever. And then you're aiming on the person, not on the illness or the complaint of that person. And that's so important to see your client, hear your client, and bring the herb and the client together. Yeah. That's really where I wake up for, to connect the herb with the client. Yeah. Yeah.
So what are 3 of the herbs you use the most?
Ooh.
They might be very different, you know? Like
Yeah.
the Netherlands.
There's one Angelica, Archangelica, the big one. I really like because it showed in my practice a lot when I started with teenagers and young adults. They came a lot in my practice and lost their sense of how the world works. So they were a lot in their head, And Angelica is such a beautiful herb. It's intelligence of helping you to get more grounded or get more open to what's there in your life. And every time it was Angelica who helped them to ground more, to believe more in themselves, to digest whatever they encountered in life and at school. Or I
And
love that plant.
the digestion was, that you're talking about kind of almost like emotional digestion. And does Angelica also help physical digestion?
Yeah,
of
for
food?
sure. Yeah. Yeah, a lot. So how can I tell that? It's it's digestion. Digest what you're eating, and for me, it's also a message of digesting emotions, digesting thoughts, digesting what's comes across in the world or in your family. So there are more layers. And also digesting, why am I here? What on earth am I doing here? Well, that's a big question, but it's really helpful when you connect with Angelica and take the tincture or tea.
It sounds like something a lot of young people at the moment might need in the world of ecological crisis and all the things that children are being presented with.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an easy time to come of age and be a teenager.
No, not by any means. Yeah, I often say, do you have this little planes who are spreading pesticides?
Crop dusters.
Yeah, and then I say, I want a crop duster full of Angelica and flying over the world in this case.
I sometimes think about that with passion flower. You know, just chill out a little bit, get out of their heads, take a few deep breaths. But that goes against our individualized medicine philosophy.
Yeah, I know. But sometimes I want to help the whole world.
So Angelica's not a plant that I use much. I've taken it once. I took it as a 1X homeopathic once many years ago, and I found it. What I remember, I'm thinking like 15 years ago, I remember that a lot of my excuses for not doing the things I wanted to do fell away. So I'd been wanting to have to meditate every morning for my whole life. I've wanted to do that. And when I was taking the Angelica homeopathic, I just did it. That's what I remember of Angelica. But I don't think it's a herb that's commonly used in Australian practice. Like, you can get it exists, but it's not very common. So tell us a bit more about what would you look for to think that was a really good match for that person?
I'm always saying it's for people who are in their head a lot, so overthinking, studying a lot, and they have cold feet all the time. That's an important one. I ask that often, and they say, no, I don't have cold feet. And then I say, well, touch your feet, feel into it. Oh, I have cold feet. So that's really one of the things that's very clear. Yeah.
So it's like a real disconnection from the body.
Yeah.
Disembodied.
Disembodied. Yeah. And there are often digestion problems. It can be obstipation. Most of the time it's obstipation. Yeah. Constipation. That's Netherlands.
It's very impressive doing an interview like this in a foreign language. I definitely would not be doing it in Dutch.
Thank you. The Dutch words are interweaving sometimes. Yeah.
I find if I'm trying to speak about herbal medicine, a lot of my family is French speaking. And if I'm trying to speak about medicine In French, it's so hard.
Yeah.
And all these specific words around like the actions of plants and the way the body works. And my cousin is a gastroenterologist. Another cousin is a endocrinologist. And we love talking about medicine. They're really open-minded to herbal medicine.
Wow.
And so we have these great conversations, but it's always so hard for me because I'm like, yeah, you know, the adrenal system, what's that in French? Yeah. Technical language.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so well done. So Angelica, and it is, from what I understand, I remember reading about Angelica, that there's a deep kind of spiritual history, mythological history of Angelica being used by the Lapland shamans and the kind of really, which is right up in the north of Europe, right? So
okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was a major plant, and apparently the hollow stems were used as like spirit fruits.
Exactly. Yeah, in the Netherlands we make rain
Like
sticks from
rain
it with
sticks.
seeds in it, and some people make didgeridoos from it with bee wax on the top, and yeah.
Controversial.
I think so. Yeah, but
Oh well. Amazing. So Angelica, what's another herb that shows up a lot in your practice?
ladies' mantle.
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
Alchemilla mollis I use, or vulgaris.
The little alchemist.
Yeah. It came around because I was having problems with my menstruation and my womb, and oh no, it was my logo when I was a gardener and designer of gardens, and then it became my logo when I was a herbalist. It always called me. That was the first plant who talked to me.
In that course you were talking
yeah,
about? I was going to ask you. So it was Lady's Mantle that called out to you. And what did she say?
She nourished me. She really, it's a mantle, so she really put it on my shoulders, and I needed that, and still need that sometimes, to be held and nourished. That was the first message.
And just explain, because mantle is actually quite an old English word that we don't use anymore. So some people, it's a cloak or a kind of a wearable blanket. You know, that's very warming and snuggly.
Yeah. When you look at the plant, you can see the cloak, the mantle. Yeah, she's really beautiful. She's very soft. She's like how I think the inside of the womb is, really soft.
Velvety almost.
Yeah. And there's something around the drop. There are always drops on the outside of the leaf, and they say they are dew drops, but it's not. It's coming from within the plant, and you can see those pearls at the edge of the leaf.
These little droplets of water.
Yeah.
And so I've also heard that it's the way that the plant collects the dew in the morning, but you're saying that it's actually almost excreting, the plant is excreting these droplets of water.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of like a healthy womb and vagina, right? You know, a healthy vagina is, all vaginas are always releasing fluid, but the quality of the fluid is an indicator of how happy she is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's really...
I know that in Europe, kind of in the 1600s, when alchemy was becoming a real thing, that the alchemists really prized the water that you would, if you collected one drop at a time from the lady's mantle leaves in the morning, that was the best water to do alchemical experiments with. Right?
Yeah. They used it in trying to make gold. It was one of the ingredients.
Turning lead into gold.
Yeah.
From where it gets its name, Alchemilla, the little alchemist.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I love when plants have these long stories.
Yeah.
And so What do you feel? I mean, what I know about Lady's Mantle is fairly limited. I don't have a deep relationship with it, but I know that she's really good astringent herb, great for, excess bleeding of the uterus, but also helping to regulate what's happening in the womb. Postpartum can be really good as a sitz bath to help and as a tea for the womb to return to her usual shape and size, and to do that well. And that's about where my understanding ends of Lady's Mantle. I mean, other than I know you can use her as a douche or a bath for kind of, thrush and leukorrhea and discharge, that astringency we're talking about.
Yeah.
I know that you are with me on this. I feel like every plant has a soul property.
Yeah.
Has a property that invites us towards a deeper transformation. As someone who works with Lady's Mantle so much, you must have an insight on this. Tell me, what's the soul property of Lady's Mantle?
It's really about embodying your femininity. Goosebumps. Bumps. And to connect with your womb. So I did it a lot for myself. I made ointments of it. Ointments. Yeah. And giving your womb love and warmth, and making that connection with your longings as a woman, longings for being a mother, or the most deep healing is when you are hurt as a woman, or didn't get children, or the longing is big but there's no possibility. And it's even working when your womb is gone. That's not the right. That's
surgically
a bit harsh.
removed.
Yeah,
Surgically removed.
Thank you. Yeah, it even works with the energy to accept whatever path you are walking on this earth. And I'm stroking my womb because she's really engaged now.
And so if this plant showed up for you so early, does that mean that this was a big part of your journey, becoming comfortable with your femininity?
Yeah, to become it really, I had a really awful menstruation cycle, and a very painful at that time of the month. It was a kind of a curse. That's how I felt it, to be a woman and to have so much pain, and why? Why? It's always a question, why? So that was hard. And I always also lost 3 children. I miscarried, so I needed a lot of love for my womb, and to accept that I couldn't carry children, and still being a woman, and being there's so much more about the womb. It's not only to become a mother, but to be creative as I am, and to be home.
To be home.
To be home in your body. To live in the womb, and to find your intuition worthy to live. That's a lot.
There's a lot there, isn't there? Yeah. And I think that's probably, so many women have such challenges with pain and menstruation that it's hard not to be angry at that,
Yeah,
at the wound.
exactly.
And I can imagine that having had that your whole life, and then trying to bring children into the world and not coming through would have been very difficult. And
Yeah.
you're like, well, then why?
Yeah,
What's the
why?
point?
Yeah, what's the point of all this suffering
Yeah.
in a way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because somehow, you know, the children we can bring through kind of makes a lot of that worth it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's not an easy journey there.
No.
I really feel for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Thank you.
Ladies' Mantle has been a
My-
cloak of comfort and love for you in that way.
Really an ally. And the cloak is there every time. Yeah. So
Beautiful.
my garden path to the front door is always filled with Ladies' Mantle. Always, wherever I live. I can't do without it. It's so important. Even now when I'm older.
And you're not menstruating anymore.
No. It has been a long time. Yeah. Yeah.
Was that a relief?
Yeah. It maybe a strange story, but when I was 42, it stopped. My partner received our child, our beautiful daughter, and then it was kind of, oh, my job is done. I brought this daughter to the womb of my partner, and that was my job in this life.
Yeah.
I really felt that deeply. And also in that time, I used a lot of Ladies' Mantle to comfort myself, to be with the grief, and the joy of a little baby in our family. So Ladies' Mantle is a big part of my life. And so I was really relieved that my menstruation stopped. So it was very early, but it was a big relief not to have that pain anymore. And the cycle is going on even when you're not menstruating. There's really the same, the PMS can be there, the doubt can be there, and also the rejoice after the dip in a way. Yeah, so it's, the circle is there, not that obvious like bleeding and the pain or the
swollen breasts,
No.
ovulation and all.
Exactly. No.
More subtle. We're talking
Subtle.
about subtle energies.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing some of those stories. I think it's so powerful to hear, especially as herbalists and plant walkers, the plants that have really walked with us.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, in a way, the Ladies' Mantle was already calling you to the path of medicine, you know, for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And so I know something I really want to hear about. I know that you also consider yourself not just a herbalist, but also a tree woman. And when we first started connecting and communicating, maybe about a year ago, I guess, I was really curious. You said, well, I'm thinking, I wonder what a tree woman is. And so tell me, what's a tree woman?
Oh, what's a tree woman? Well, for me, is it connecting with the trees. They have a lot to tell. I wrote a book about it. That made me a tree woman. Really deeply connecting with the trees. I read it in a book about ancient cultures, Egypt, for example, where they really connect with the trees and exchange energy. And I thought, yeah, that's possible. I know that somewhere in my field. I know that. That's something familiar for me. So what I did was go into the trees and make a shamanic journey. And the trees told me how to connect and how to connect and they showed me their healing properties. And I met very powerful people through the tree, who told me about the properties, what they can do for you, what they really want for you.
So when you first went and sat with the trees, so I love, firstly, I love the courage of reading something about an ancient peoples, and I often have had the experience of reading things like that, you know, or other times where people seem to have a different and more alive relationship with the world of plants and the world of spirit, you know, and the animals, all of the the more than human worlds. And often there's like those phrases or descriptions can ring like a bell in our hearts, and it's like, oh yes, that's true, I know that.
Yeah.
And yet it's not often that, or it's that the response is that, oh, I'm going to go and do it. You know, like, it's a way that we don't trust ourselves generally. So I really love the courage and the self-trust that shows. And so you read this and you went out and sat with a tree.
Yeah.
And the tree told you how to communicate with trees.
Yeah.
And is that something you can share with us? Like, what did the trees tell you about how to do this?
Oh yeah, they showed me a special way, because they told me I needed to write a book about it. So I had my own way, and that was with my drum. And laying on my bed, knowing with which tree wants to connect, and then take the journey and write. But everybody can do it. You don't have to have a drum or take that journey. It's almost, and I think many people know this, when you're going to a tree, you're falling in love, or you really like that tree, or sometimes you hesitate, and that's the energy of that tree who wants to pull you in or say, well, not today. And you can feel that, and it's kind of subtle, and it isn't. And it's about sit under the tree, or lay down, look at it, just feel what's there. Lay your hand on the stem of the tree and feel, is it cold, is it warm, is the energy going through my hands, to my arm, to my heart? Your hands are connected with your heart. Wow. Just do it. And you all have your own qualities. So some people are hearing the trees talking, like we are now, or hearing and you can translate it. Some people know, it's giving me love, or it's giving me an embracement, or some people get images. Yeah, they see a person, or an energy around it, or we all have our talents. Most of the times we don't know them or are not familiar with them. But do it. Lay down, sit down, put your hands on the stem. Most of the trees do like that. And tell who you are, and what your longing is, or what's your question about life, your life. They like that. They really want to engage.
Beautiful. So I would love you to share what the Camphor Laurels on my property said. So Marjanne has come out for a holiday to Australia, and we've been in touch for a while, and you just came to my Animist Herbalist retreat as part of my Wild Edge
Exactly.
of Herbalism, where I am actually teaching some of these same things, but with a lot less experience. So at first I was really nervous that this very experienced elder herbalist working with a lot of these subtle energies was coming to my retreat, but it was so lovely to have you there. I felt very supported by your presence and your knowing in those areas. And also, Marianne's been staying on my land here in North New South Wales for a while, and hearing more about your work with this, tree listening, tree whispering. One of my first reactions was like, great, maybe you can have a chat to the Camphor Laurels and tell them to not just grow so many seedlings, please, and maybe ask them what's going on. And so I know you did that for me last week.
Yeah.
Would you please share that journey and what the Camphors had to say?
Yeah.
Who are, in case people don't know, the Camphor Laurels are a Chinese and East Asian tree. They are very beautiful and very vigorous growing trees, and they've really taken over the forest in this part of the world. And I think this year alone I've pulled up 100 tiny seedlings, and every year there are more of them, so it's a bit of a problem.
Yeah. Well, they know. They told me they know, because this is not their familiar ground. It can grow. Every seed has that possibility, but here more, far more. The first thing I told you, they want me to say to you, we are holding the ground. So don't take us all. We really are important for the mountain to stay firm. So that was a very practical message. And then I thought, I need to journey with them. So I lay down under the camphor laurel, and the first thing they told me was, there was someone who had branches of the laurel, and
I was
flogging me, my whole body. So I got very warm and tingling, and it freed all kind of energy, maybe dark energy, out of my body. And really under my feet was a place they really flogged me. But it wasn't hard, it was really gentle and with a lot of love and intention. So I was really tingling all over my body. And then the tree took me through his roots to Asia, to China, I think. I didn't ask that question. I can ask that in the journey, but I just went. And they made an ointment for my womb, inside and out, and warmed it. Really gave the warmth of the camphor to me. And they also said, don't be so afraid of me. Make ointments and use it. They really want to be used, and they asked you, Stephanie, to make ointments from it. Yeah, and they are flowering now, and the last step was that they took me to a soul level and helped to see me. And what I encounter is, for me, also the message for more people. So they cleared the path to my soul purpose in a way, with fire. That was the image. I can go more into it, but Yeah, this is a beautiful... so there were 3 layers they wanted to show me. And the body, the outside, my skin, the womb, and the path to your purpose with fire. Fire is the main energy.
A lot of heat in there.
A lot of heat, yeah.
Interestingly, when you say don't be afraid of them, I think I kind of am a little. One, because they're quite invasive, but also, they're high in camphor and camphor and different essential oils that are very potent. But they have a long history of use medicinally as well. The little I know that you can make like a liniment for sore muscles, and even as an insect repellent, and the wooden mothballs is quite common. I don't know. In Australia, my grandmother used to have all of these balls of camphor wood that she'd put in her cupboard so that the moths wouldn't eat things. And
it's also in tiger balsam. You have that
tiger
too.
balm.
Yeah.
Also, to clear the sinuses as a smelling oil, a smelling balm. And I also read that the liniment rubbed on the head can be good for balding as well, like stimulate. Yeah, there's a heating stimulate. I mean, the way they grow, Full. And the timber is beautiful. They're used quite often in chopping boards and kitchen slabs and things like that, which I know that you didn't know that about the camphors, but it's very common here that kitchen benches are made of camphor. And I do remember you telling me that they had a specific message for my house. That my kitchen really does need redoing. It's very water damaged. It's all falling apart. And it sounds like the camphor trees on the property have intentions to be in this kitchen.
They want to be planks and used in the kitchen. That was the second message. Yeah.
I really enjoyed hearing about that. Making friends with the camphor trees. I find it really inspiring, as probably all the listeners know, with my Plant Allies work and my Wild Edge of Herbalism. I've been doing a lot more of, I guess, sitting and listening to the plant spirits, and working a lot with tinctures, but also live plants. And it's a really beautiful invitation, meeting you and learning more about your work, to work with the trees, and I have had some really beautiful journeys with trees in my life. Accidental ones in my earlier life, So it's been interesting to intentionally go and deepen in relationship with the trees on this beautiful land where I live. And there are a lot of trees here. It's very much tree country. What wants to live is the trees.
For sure, wonderful trees here. Different trees, and very old trees. So a few of them want to talk to you. So please do. And it could also be that little tree who's starting to grow in your garden or in a pot on your balcony. You don't have to you don't need a garden or a beautiful mountain like this over here. It's really, or the pot plant. They love to talk to you. All those bright flowers you buy for 1 year maybe, or in your pots, and then lose them by the heat or forgetting them. They really want to talk to you, and they all have a message. And trust what you hear or what you feel, or I know this plant says it to me. Take it.
I love that, the pot plants, because plants live in community with each other, and they speak to each other. And when they're in our house, we are their community.
Exactly.
So they're probably quite eager for a chat, the pot plants. You chat to this peace lily who's not very happy.
No, it's too dark. Well, we shall see. We will talk to her.
I feel like we could just keep talking for a long time. There's so many. I know that you have so much wisdom about the European trees and the hazel and the oak, and All really exciting things. I've loved learning from you through our conversations.
Thank you.
And also, I know that in Holland, like you've published 4 books on plants, herbal medicine and tree medicine. That you teach courses on working with the flower essences from different tree species.
Yeah.
That you don't take people out from all walks of life into the forest to reconnect with nature. Like, you're doing really amazing work.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very exciting to know that these things are happening around the world. And in Australia, I think we get exposed to a little bit of the English-speaking world herbalism, but we very rarely get exposed to the herbal medicine practice from non-English-speaking countries. A bit of the conceit of being the dominant language.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I know your books aren't translated into English yet.
No.
I hope they are one day, because I would love to read them. You have a set of oracle cards as well. Yeah, so it sounds like you're just doing really powerful work in your own community.
Thank you.
And it's so lovely to have you here and share some of the wisdom from, more than 3 decades in practice and working with, and before that, working with plants in gardens. Like, it's a long relationship.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for asking. Yeah.
That's it for this moon cycle. Thanks for joining me in another layer of this fascinating conversation we are having about the role of the sacred in our lives as herbalists. If you know someone who would love this episode, then send it through to them, as our work strengthening our herbal community through grassroots herbal education starts right here. I'll see you next time the moon is round in the sky, and until then, I wish you good health and many plants.